who are here. My name is Donato Callahan. I'm the CEO of BrightInvestor, and this office hours is designed to allow you to ask any questions about BrightInvestor, get some hands-on training with it, learn how to use it more effectively, and overall be in a place where you can get the most out of the platform. So before I go into announcements on new facts or new components about BrightInvestor, feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask any questions you might have that you want to get handled. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. All right. So for BrightInvestor, I'll go ahead and start with some announcements for some new things that are coming out. We are improving our skip tracing. So we are adding in another service provider to help get better, even better phone numbers, even better emails, and even better information. So we are upgrading the skip tracing components to be even more powerful and more accurate, and ideally even giving you guys more skip traces for free, which we're pretty excited about. We have started the work of creating the new user interface for BrightInvestor. We're also currently working on a bug that we found that is preventing some people from being able to use the platform in terms of looking for deals. It can be searched by clearing your cache, but we should have a fix for that out by the end of the evening. We've made some additional edits and improvements on the new widget that we released. And for the next several months, we're going to be working on some back-end work. So you're going to see a little bit of a slowdown in terms of new releases. But we are working on a lot in the back end for the product. But overall, things continue to move forward, and we are making some big improvements in terms of user interface, training inside the app, and some improvements from skip tracing services. So there are those are some of the new things that we have coming out with this office with BrightInvestor here the next couple of months and what's going on. Hey Polina, good to see you. So if there are any questions about the AI tonight, I'll go ahead and open the floor open. Otherwise, I have some things I can cover as well. And Polina, yeah, this tonight we did announce it on email this morning, but we are moving to 1 hour earlier on Wednesdays. Bless me. Oh, geez. Bless me. So we're moving to 1 hour earlier on Wednesdays. So instead of 8 o'clock Central, we're doing it at 7 o'clock Central. So it looks like you got the memo. I know our normal crowd. I know Jason and Chester and Rich and Nick and a couple others are probably going to join an hour and say, what's going on? So I'll have to email them. But overall, just did a couple announcements on what's new for now. So we're pretty much going to open the floor for questions on what people have.
Who else is here?
I don't know. I have two iPhones, and I'm not sure of their names for this evening. So I have iPhone. I have iPhone 13. I will affectionately refer to them as Billy Bob and Joe. But I have Billy Bob and Joe this evening, and I have you. So we're normally about 10 to 15 people, but tonight we're gonna be a little bit
Right.
lighter, and I expected this.
Uh-huh. Yes, I never open your email, but I don't know, today I open it and I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah,
right
it's a
here.
little bit newer. Yeah, so I expect we're gonna have some people who are just hopping in on their as they get the notice. So again, we'll do some more emails about the time shift here as it goes out, so people are more aware of it. But we're just moving it 1 hour earlier in the evening, so people are able to just a little bit earlier, especially things you go into winter time and things of that nature, and also so that I don't finish up on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock at night. There used to be a whole I'd be very grateful to finish up at 9 o'clock at night on a weekday. Now it's like, oof. I like to finish up a little bit earlier than that now. But yeah,
Yeah.
it used to be would be in work until 10 o'clock or 11 or midnight. So in my old age, I have to wind down a little bit. I'm not the
Yeah,
spry
yeah,
chicken. I'm not
can
the spry
imagine.
chicken I once was at 23.
Yeah, I like the late time, so I know you didn't
Okay,
ask,
you
but
like
I prefer
okay,
the
so
later time.
okay. So you like the later time. Okay. If enough people I know write in and say that it's we need the late time, we can shift. But we're just trying something new here from a timing perspective to see if that would work for people. Because I think it's 5 o'clock Cali time now, and then it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. So now we got some folks on the East Coast too who are joining, at 9 or 10 o'clock local to their time for office hours, and it's going to a little bit later in the evening for them. Um, yeah, Paulina, any questions I can answer for you? I know you set a meeting with me for Friday. Can
Yeah.
we move that to tomorrow or earlier in the day, Friday, by chance?
At what time? I can do it at 5, if that would work.
Let's see here.
Or tomorrow morning at from 8:30.
I could do that. I could do tomorrow at 8:30.
Okay.
I want to move that. We'll move that to 8:30 tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that. I
No
have a
problem.
I have a friend coming into town to that I got to on a Friday that I got to go grab. Um, and I forgot to block off Friday for Labor Day weekend. But good to be here.
No.
But appreciate that. Andy, how you doing, my friend?
It's been crazy, man. It's been absolutely
Sounds
crazy.
sounds like it's been crazy. A lot of things going on, moving and shaking.
Lots of owner calls, man. It's that's what I still owe you some information, but dude, it has been insane.
Oh, I know. I totally understand. So please take your time. I know a lot of things going on. I was gonna email this out probably tomorrow or the next day. But another Bright Investor Diamond member. So we just had a guy go under contract for a couple different doors, like 8 units, and he's gonna close next month. And yesterday, one of our guys got under contract on an off-market 7 unit building for
Awesome.
they wanted 300 for it. We got it for 250. So 7 units for 250s and a net 2 grand a month on it after renovations.
That sounds
And
fantastic.
yeah, so pretty happy for Mike. He's in Omaha, Nebraska, so we're happy for him. And so we will be doing email about that here soon. But the system
Hmm.
went as needed. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to keep cranking out deals for
Yeah.
people who need them. So even
Well, I
Paulina,
haven't
now we're working
forgotten
on her
about you.
second deal.
I haven't forgotten
Yeah,
about you. The key renter business has been fantastic. So
that's great. I'm glad
yeah,
Drew's been
it's a good
telling me.
problem to have. Yeah.
Drew's telling me like all the meetings you have. He's told me like all the different improvements that you've given him for BI for the rent comps. And
I
he's shown
know.
me like the conversations on the widget. He's talked to me about all the different things that you've pointed out. I think we're actually releasing some tonight or tomorrow, including, hold on. I think this is one of yours. The ability to oh, what was it? See days on market for rent comps. I think
Yeah,
that was one of
that's a good
yours.
one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, so we're adding that in because we just tested that. So that's going live like tomorrow or the next day because of your request.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that one's cool. So you'll be able to see like this one was 13 days, this one was 200 days, this one was, 30 days.
I
So
use
that's
that
going
hover
live.
feature all the time now. The little
Awesome.
eyeball. Yeah, that's a great
Awesome.
feature.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I have a
So,
request for features actually.
oh, yes, please
Now that we're
shower
talking
me.
about them.
Shower me
Um,
with features.
if we could download the data and we could have it for all like appreciation and we have it by zip code and we see it and then how much. So when we open it, we're able to see
That's a
it,
good idea.
but we can
Like
download
you mean
it.
Like
you
a
mean like the tape
CSV.
like the little table that we do in the sidebar, being able to click a button that says download?
Yes.
That's a pretty good idea. Yeah,
And
that's
then there's some of them that don't have it, that you don't see the data like that. So maybe we can have it for all and also download it because at least for me, I put everything in Excel.
sold.
And I make tables. For example, what I do is just I have addresses and
That's a good idea.
I drop it
Yeah.
on Google My Maps so I can see the locations and I click on it and I can see, this property was this one. So that's the only reason why it's
No, that's a good idea.
nice.
Okay. I just sent that to the developers and said, "Hey, let's do this." So that I can promise you that's gonna go on the roadmap and we're gonna work on
Awesome.
that. There's yeah, and we also today we started work on the new user interface for BI. And if any, but we are adding in additional skip tracing. So we have some things we're doing where we're bringing in even more contact data for phone numbers, emails, and work. So we're expanding our skip tracing database, and we are in the process. I can't promise you how quick it's gonna, how long it's gonna go, but we are in the process of getting officially licensed as getting our realty license in all 50 states in the US to give BrightInvestor true MLS direct access to the level of Zillow and
Wow.
Realtor and Trulia. So we are getting licensed as a company in all 50 states to where not even, daily updates, but multiple intraday updates to properties inside of BrightInvestor and expanding it. So we're going to have the MLS inside BrightInvestor
It's really
instead of
cool.
just like, yeah. So that's one of my big projects right now. We'll do an email about that. It's going to take us a while to do it, but my hope is that early 2026 we're going to have that, because I'd like to be able to say that, I'd like to be able to have Brian Mister say, yeah, it's pretty good right now, but can I give you like a legitimate, even without being an agent yourself, you have MLS access through Bright Investor.
Can
So
we
that's what I'm
filter?
trying to do.
Can we filter by expiration date? I'd love to cold call those expired
Yes.
listings without having to get
Yes.
MLS. Yeah,
We are
that'd be
going to
awesome.
have, we've been able to sample some of the data. There is a lot more filters we're going to be able to add on there when we have that true access. But it requires us actually going to get licensed and like doing this process, and we have to have all these negotiations. But that in accordance with our mobile version coming out in 2026, are two of our bigger projects. So you can say I have true MLS access, and I have expanded skip tracing, and I have a mobile friendly version, and I have etc. Are a couple of the larger and the new user interface are all things that we are of our larger kind of trajectory things to continue to make Bright Investor just more and more and more effective.
Cool. I remember you could draw on the map before. That is not there anymore.
You can
Or
still draw on the map for looking for deals.
okay, for deals, but not to mark something or to
Yeah,
look or look for just
just for searching for deals, you can draw on
okay,
the map.
okay,
Yeah, you can draw the map for there.
okay.
Everything else we have either set boundaries or set zip codes.
Okay.
You should be, yeah, you can do that, and you do that by going into the draw section. I'll show here. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. So when we're inside, I go over here, click search deals. All you have to do is click this little button that'll say the draw boundary. So you click that and you click draw boundary, and then it'll give you a little crosshair, and you can click and drop your marker in
Uh-huh.
order to find those specific areas.
I was looking for that. I couldn't find it.
Okay, I'm thinking I might put this somewhere new, because if I've had several people tell me they couldn't find this button, so I might move that to be a little bit easier to address.
Yeah, it
Um,
could be near the notes where all the little icons.
yeah, yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna put like a little pencil icon right here to make it easier to draw.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are here, actually, let me show you guys what this new user interface is going to look like
Okay.
for Bright Investor. So share my screen here. So this is what it looks like now. And this is a rough estimate, so it's not gonna look exactly like this, but it's gonna be pretty close. So what Bright Investor looks like right now, and this is what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to have the map's going to cover the entire page. You're going to have the buttons be a little bit more modern. The side was going to be a bit more modern. So instead of this, it's going to look more like that. But
Mm-hmm.
same basic principles. You're not going to have to relearn the whole thing. It's just it's a refresh. Plus, we're doing this because doing this makes the whole system very easy to make mobile friendly. So we're redesigning the whole thing so that way it'll be easy to work with on a phone, essentially. Um, this is essentially what it'll look like. The buttons will move locations, but it's going to be a bit more modern. Even fewer buttons, even fewer things to have to worry about, and just be a little more streamlined throughout the whole thing.
Uh-huh. I have
Let's
a question that my husband asked me about this.
yeah.
Um, if you would grant access like an API for
Mm,
someone to use your data.
yes. So we have been asked about creating an API for Bright Investors data often.
Uh-huh.
We've so far elected to not do it
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons. It is something we are discussing doing in the future. I can't tell you that we have plans to do it at any time soon, but it is something that we are doing on our back end of our database to create ways where I'll say this. Have we already built APIs? Yes. Could we release some of them? Yes. Are we? No, not yet. Someday, maybe. But for right now, we're not.
Yeah.
Um, and we may end up changing our tune for that later on in the future, but for now we have not chosen to release any API accesses. One thing I do want to point out for some rent comps for those who are here is I'm just going to pick this one. In the property window in the rent comp section, we are adding a new filter here. You are going to be able to filter by square footage. So instead of having to turn on and turn off square foot comps, you will be able to come up here and right now in sales comps, the same way how you can say square foot within plus or minus 10%, you will have that exact same filter for rent comps. So you'll
That'd
say
be awesome.
bed, bath, square footage, because we found that yes, okay, these are all three ones, right? But this one is clearly 114 square feet, clearly not. Or my
Yeah.
property is 912 square feet. So like I can rank them, but I'd rather just not have the 1600 square foot property if I have a 900 square foot, unit. So all
Yeah,
of
it
those are
almost.
being
Oh, go ahead.
good.
Sorry, I was gonna say I almost like to have that with price too, man. You get those outlier prices where you know typical typical rents around here for a 3.2 or
Yep.
25 to 3 grand, and then you get this $5,000. They posted it on Zillow. It's picking it up because it's out there on Zillow, but they haven't rented that thing, and they're never gonna run it at $5,000.
Yep.
You know what I'm
So that's
saying?
a yeah. So price is pretty good. I think like an outlier filter. Like I can see that being useful. Um, and so you can see like yeah. So we're adding in that square footage filter here to make it a little bit simpler. Um, and then again, that is coming here, and then the days on market is going to be one of these columns. So like it'll say distance, square foot, DOM, days on market, and it'll just list out for you what the days on market were for that property. So if you see a property that a rent that was really high and the days on market was really high, you go, okay, great, they overlisted that. You turn it off.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that will
doing
be
that
here.
manually now.
Okay. So that will be coming out ideally to make it a little bit smoother for you. What else are we releasing? I got to think about this here.
Yeah. I noticed that it works differently. I'm on a Mac and your map works different on me. So my
I
map,
d-
when you scroll down, my map also goes. So I
your
cannot,
map goes up and down.
yes, they don't work
Okay.
together, meaning when I scroll down, my map disappears.
Okay, that is good to know. And that's also part of the reason we're doing the new user interface component because everything you see here we built custom for Bright Investor. We with our new model, our new theme, we are using some pre-built best practices. So the idea being it will fit different computer types and different operating systems much more effectively than they maybe would have in the past. It's also going to help with things like screen sizes. So a lot of people here have different sizes of screens. The new design that we're doing is going to be much more amenable to having a larger size of screen and scale more appropriately. So all things we're doing as Bright Investor matures to make it more effective and make it just a little bit more, like we said, like 1% better every day, a little bit tighter, a little bit better. Everything from the small stuff, like, hey, square footage for rent comps filter. That's a small thing. Two, can we get direct mail with Bright Investor directly? Yes, we're adding that in. Can I get a mobile version? Can I get the direct MLS access to every MLS in the country? Yes. So we're doing the large stuff and the small stuff. We're going to keep rolling those things out. We have a roadmap set for the next year and a half. We know exactly what we're launching.
Oh.
Um, we have some pretty cool stuff that we're going to add that I'm excited for you guys to get a crack at. Um, but those are some of the things that we are looking at, and you'll expect over the course of the next few months. So you should expect about a monthly update with new features and things that we're launching every month for the rest of the year, in terms of some things we have cooking before we get to some of the really big stuff. And then you guys can reasonably expect that the brand new user interface, the brand new website, and some of the brand new components are going to be available like the very first of the new year. Reasonable. So
I know Sarah asked at some point if you would put like the 100-year flood or this, or
yep, flooding. So what we've done currently is in the search deals section, you can filter for being in a flood zone or not.
oh wow, okay.
So we did add that in, so you can filter for that.
Mm.
The layering in for the 100-year flood or flood zones is something that's still in the roadmap. Our hope is that this will help people in the meantime get an idea, but adding in a layer for flood mapping is still on the docket.
Yeah, I have talked to when I talked to Nick that I met in Indianapolis,
Mhm.
someone, my husband told me the same. It was about opportunity zones.
Yep. I bet Nick's texting me right now about opportunity zones. He's
Yes,
all he's
my
all giddy
husband
about
also
them.
asked me about that.
Yeah. Nick is another BrightInvestor Diamond member who is under contract in a couple deals right now. And we didn't expect it's another cool win. We did an inspection for him last week, and the property needed a lot of work. It was gonna rent like crazy, but needed a lot of work and like $50,000 worth of work. And we got the seller to agree to cover every single item on the list
Oh
for
wow.
before closing. So not only is he buying a Section 8 deal that's gonna make him a fat stack of cash every month, but the guy's gonna put 50 grand in rehab into it on his dime, including new water heaters and new HVAC and new windows.
Wow.
It's awesome.
It's huge.
Yeah, feeling pretty good about that one.
He was
Yeah.
So
doing the work.
he
He was doing the work
we're
before closing or giving him a credit at closing.
we're negotiating. So I have to go on a call later tonight and I have to negotiate that. What
Yeah.
I want is we're going to escrow it all into an account and then have Nick be able to choose the contractors. That's what I want.
That is really
But
good.
yeah, so we're working on that right now, which is exciting. So they got more wins, and people. I mean, Tim's 5 unit that he closed 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, is moving along, and they got Mike's under contract on his 7 unit. Got a lot of multifamily wins recently, which has been nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you should post
Moving
them.
things
It's
along.
nice to hear, and also to hear where they are.
Yeah. So I plan at the end of the year to do a big email about all the people who have closed and done their cool things this year, but
Right.
that's good.
Did we start an hour
Uh,
early tonight and I missed it? Or
yeah, so we are moving an hour earlier in
Oh,
the evenings. So we're trying
good.
that out moving forward. So yeah, this is the first night we're trying it. So we sent one email earlier today, but I expected a lot of people to miss it, so don't worry about it. Yeah, so we're gonna try at for you, that would be 8 o'clock 8 o'clock Eastern instead of nine
Yeah,
o'clock.
my head's not gonna hit the table from now on.
Okay, I had you in mind when I was thinking about
Yeah,
that,
I'm sure you
It
did.
right?
does, it
I
does
did.
help. Yes,
Yeah,
agreed.
so like I got people who are late at night, so yeah, I moved it back 1 hour earlier to so it'll be 5 o'clock California time and 8 o'clock Eastern
Yeah.
time.
And we got more people on camera tonight than ever before. I'd like that.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that Jason and Chester and a couple of the other guys are probably gonna email me and say, wait a second, and that's okay. And I'll get them here next week. But
Yeah.
those are yeah. So we definitely made some changes.
Yeah, because I just turned it on and it said join now, and I went, what?
Uh, yeah, sorry about that. We'll do another and also for those who aren't aware, in the help section inside of the app, when you go to the update section, we will post the link every single week
Oh,
for the meeting, and you'll see here we'll say like, hey, we have a new time. I'll post that here. We'll also email that out. But it is something to where we will keep that it is available inside the app as you leverage it.
Yeah, if
Let's
you're
see
doing
here.
flood zones, are you gonna do twisters next?
Maybe for things in the Tornado Alley in the Midwest. Tornado Alley, it's not a bad idea, but I would probably do flood zones first.
Yeah. Good point.
And then I would maybe go on. What I'd probably do next, honestly, is I do wildfires, and that'd be for our California investors who are going, or kind of Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Arizona, Cali, Portland, Washington, areas that are maybe more fire prone. Not too many people are pulling the trigger on deals out there, but there are enough where it's worth it. Um, so that's on the list. We got a lot of cool things like that rocking and rolling
Yeah. Well,
that we want to.
yeah, in California,
But
there's some places that you cannot build if it's in a
yeah,
fire zone. So
yeah, yeah. So that's something that we're watching in terms of environmental risk for properties. There's all yeah. But Christine, I want to say it's good to see you. Good to see you on. Happy to have you.
Thanks. How are you?
Absolutely.
I have a question. Like I've been just playing around with this and I just put in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Sure.
My thing, and I put in, and I'm not sure if I'm using the program correctly because it doesn't seem to want to do what I keep asking it to do. And
Sure.
it gives me nothing. Am I putting in the right thing? So I did single family and I hit vacant, high equity, absentee owner, out of state owner. And then I went search property and it does nothing. Is there something else I was supposed to do other than that?
Uh, let's see. So you went to Honolulu and
Yes.
okay, so let's
Yeah.
see. So you
And
did
then
on
I
did you
did single
is
family
it
and then
on market or off market?
I think I left it on market.
That's
On
probably
market.
why.
Oh, I
So
see.
so
Uh-huh.
that would mean that a property has to be actively listed for sale, also by an absentee out-of-state owner that's also high equity, that's also those things. So there's going to be a
Right.
lower percentage of those.
Uh-huh.
Let's do that same search and do
Uh-huh.
off-market single
Okay.
family for
All
a
right.
absentee out-of-state owner with high equity,
Okay.
and let's see what we get.
Okay.
And I got over almost 1,000.
Wow.
Weird. Okay, one more sec. Let me get that again. Can you do
Yep,
that one more time? What did I go back to choose your
yep.
settings?
Yeah.
And what
So
did
that
you
is
do?
single.
Slow it down, Donato. Slow it down.
Right. Also,
Yeah.
single family off market up on the top.
Uh-huh.
And then I scrolled down to the bottom and I expanded my seller
Mhm.
motivation filters.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm
And how
doing
come your
absent.
filters, you've got so many? Mine doesn't have that many. I have 4
Did you
boxes to check.
did you click more filters?
Oh,
Like less
okay.
filters, what happens?
Oh, yeah, sure, more for
There you go.
that would help, right? Okay, got it. But all right, so
You can look for vacant.
I see. Yeah, I definitely want Dakin. I definitely want free clear. Uh, when you say adjustable rate, death and probate, assumable loan, any of these things, do they all have to be individually checked or, or will
So
they just pull anybody?
so if you the more filters you turned on, it uses
Mhm.
and logic, which means
And
that
okay,
that
got and
property
out of
has to
state
have
and
all of the
free.
things.
Okay, that's what I was
Yes.
wondering. So I would just probably want to keep it as absentee owner and out of state owner and free and clear. Let's see
What
what
Sure.
about
happens.
in what about
Uh,
individually owned versus an LLC?
We can do that too. We can do individually owned.
Yeah.
So
Assume-
indi
Okay, let me
so if we
see.
try individual absentee out of state free and
Okay.
clear and we do that search, we should get
Yeah.
fewer results. So we went from 985 to 181.
What are you hitting that you're pulling able? I did single family off market.
Hmm.
Honolulu, Hawaii is the initial filter.
Hmm.
Under choose your settings, I did single family price. What did you do a max price for?
I didn't put one in.
Yeah, okay, price max is what I left it. I left everything
Hmm.
else empty. What did you do within miles? Did you do within 3 miles? Is that the
Yep.
default?
I did
Okay,
5 miles for this one myself.
okay, all right, let's say within 5 miles. And then I did high equity, absentee, out of state, free and clear, individual owned, and I went search properties and nothing pops up. And
Okay.
I'm not
Did
sure
you?
why.
Okay. So did you get the notification earlier today about our cash issue that we were fixing?
Okay, I'm not sure.
Okay, so so
Okay.
this is something that we did a little release on this earlier today, which I'm happy to walk you through.
Yes,
One of our
please.
developers pushed a update last night that had a piece of
Okay.
code that was
Okay.
restricting some people from having properties show up, or if you looked up
Yeah.
an address, it wouldn't tell you
Yeah.
anything about the property.
Right.
They're
Right. That
actively
was.
fixing that now.
Oh, I
So
see.
all I
Okay.
need you to do is,
Uh,
are you using Google Chrome?
I believe I am. Yes.
Okay, then you will simply go up into your search bar where it says app.brightinvestor.com/data mapping.
Yes.
And you're going to click this little button that says view site information.
Okay. Hold on. View site information. Where's that?
So it's this little
Uh,
circular button that has this 2 lines on it right here.
oh, okay. Got it. All right.
And you're going to click cookies and site data.
And then cookies and site data. Okay.
And you'll click manage on device site data.
Okay.
And something like this is going to show up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to click the trash icon for the 3 things that say Bright Investor.
The app, the API, the APP, and the brightinvestor.com, the first three.
Yep.
Delete those three. Okay.
Yep. And then hit
Delete,
done.
delete, and
We all have to
done.
do that?
Okay.
Yeah, everyone, for people who have been using the product today, need to
Oh,
do that.
okay.
If you've been using it. So then go ahead and hit reload, and it's gonna prompt you to it's gonna run you to here, which is what it normally does when you do this.
Okay. Hold
So
on.
then just go ahead and go back to app.brightinvestor.com and log back in.
Okay, so I have to reload this Bright Investor.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Oh, it just kicked me out. All right. Now I gotta
Yep.
log me back in.
Yep. So this
Uh,
is the so you'll go ahead and log back in, and then we'll navigate back to
okay.
Honolulu.
Well, I'm so glad I got you. I was like, what am I
Yeah.
doing wrong? Nothing's
No.
popping up on this silly thing.
Oh,
Okay.
you're totally fine. And that's why we're here. This is why we do office hours, to make sure people
Uh,
understand.
yeah. So now what happens because where am I signing in? It just gives me a payment checkout thing now.
Yep.
You don't
So
know.
go to your search bar and go ahead and click
Right,
go
investor
to
dot com.
type in app.brightinvestor.com.
Uh-huh.
And so we're going to go back to the login page, and then that's going to bring you back to where you can log in.
Okay. Because it's saved, so I don't have to do that. All right, I'm back in. All right, let me try this one more time. So I'm
Perfect.
gonna go Honolulu,
Hmm.
and then
And
it's
I'll do it
gonna
with you. I'll
search
do the exact same
deals.
thing.
Thank
Yep.
you. And we're gonna go off market.
Hmm.
And then I'm gonna go vacant, absentee, out of state, high equity, search more filters, and individual owned, just to make it easy. But it didn't
Okay.
click it. Okay, high equity, absentee owner, out of state. Free and clear maybe is a good idea, and search properties.
Okay.
Nothing.
So
Okay, go to 5 miles. What am I doing?
I
Search.
got 9 properties here that are showing up that are
Okay,
also vacant.
all right. Let me see what this
1.6,
says.
1.3, holy shit.
And you
This,
did off market?
yeah, I did.
An expensive island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hawaii's very
Hawaii
expensive. That's why I'm
Hawaii is
going to Missouri. Can't do it.
absolutely.
That is why I'm going to Missouri. I can't do this here. Yes, mine will not come back.
Okay.
And okay.
So it's okay. Here's what we're gonna do.
Can she share
After
the
Bright,
screen?
yeah, so after office hours, Christine, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
I will stay
Yeah.
on with you and we'll
Yeah,
figure it out
please.
live.
'Cause this is all right. Let's go back
Um,
to you. Let's come back to your thing then. That'd be great. Thank you.
yeah, so I'll
So,
happily
all right. So you pulled it, it came out,
yep,
and these are all the things that popped up. Wow, that's
yes.
cool.
So yep, so
How
these are
many
the out of
how many
state.
properties? 9. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So 9 in this 5 mile that are owned by an out of state investor that are also vacant, that also own nothing on them.
You know,
So to start off with.
Mhm. Wow, that's great.
So let's say I pick on, oh, I don't know, we'll choose, oh, we'll call it, let's do this one.
Wow.
Okay, so like this property here, it's a 4-bed, 2-bath. It's a single story, single unit, absentee, out of state owned, individually owned. They have no debt on it, which is why the loan info says NA.
Uh-huh.
It's owned by Clayton Curtis. That is a movie name if I've ever heard one.
Uh-huh.
Clayton Curtis. Actually, I know where this is. That's great. I know where Sea Lake is. In Montana.
Uh-huh.
And I can see that, okay, this is interesting, right? Clayton Curtis. They see here.
Like it stayed in the
It's
family
been,
a long time.
yep, the Lee family has
So
owned this since 1997,
no,
and they've been transferring ownership between people
Uh-huh.
until finally they just took it out of their trust and it just got transferred to Clayton personally
Oh,
just a couple months ago.
out of
wow.
the
So
irrevocable trust. You can take it out of the irrevocable trust.
it looks like it. So this guy just got it out of the trust. So someone may have passed. So honestly, someone may have passed away,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
or
what it is. Mhm.
that's what it tells
someone may have passed away. Someone may have just inherited this property. So they just
Okay.
got it like 4 months ago or 5 months ago.
Right.
And the other
Now,
one,
if
could
I
it be why at the bottom that they transfer from one side to the other one? Could it be that they refinance it or?
it could be that they,
free and clear.
yeah, so it's owned free and clear, but it's possible that they, it was owned by these two people in this with this kind of ownership split and they moved it to this, or they put it into the trust, they took it back out of the trust. Right, you see how it went from Charles and Caroline to Charles and Caroline, but the name changed. It was
Mhm.
Caroline Lucala Lee, now it's Caroline Kaha Nuala Lee. So like they're changing names for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they are moving the ownership. So non-arm's length transaction just means that it wasn't a sale, right? So Zillow is going to pick up on things that happened with an actual sale. This is saying that this has happened within the family, within the ownership, within this group, ownership was moving. So on this one, right, I come to my sales comps and I can see all these properties nearby. This thing's likely to be worth about $1.01 million based off nearby things. Personally, I'm going to come through and say I only want to see properties that are the same bath count and the same bed count. And I want to
Right.
find properties that were built ideally around the same period of time. So I'm going to say plus or minus 5 years. And
Mhm.
that gives me a sale comp value closer to about 1.1, which
Mhm.
is really close to our AVM's model of
Right. Right.
1.16. So
Mhm.
right about 1.1. Then for a property like this, a 4-bed, 2-bath property in this area, across these different comps is going to rent for about $4,400 to $4,500. And we even have some comps like in the same exact neighborhood next to the hospital.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to start off and saying, you know what, this is a 4-2. I'm going to turn off these properties that are 4 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. I don't want to use those comps for me.
Mhm.
And I don't want to use this one. So I want to use these comps. And that brought when I turned off the bigger bathroom properties, right? I dropped my rent by $300. So that's important to know.
Well, wait a
So
second. The ones you collect are the ones you're turning off, or the ones you're keeping on.
the ones that ones I clicked are the ones I turned off.
So the top three are off.
Yes.
Okay.
And so now across these comps, I can say, okay, great. Now my average is closer to $4,200.
Mhm.
Or now you notice how the square foot valuation is smaller. What
Mhm.
that means is we took the average price per square foot for all of these rental comps and we multiplied it by this property's square footage. And then that's what gives us a square foot valuation. So the fact that this square foot valuation is smaller than the average and median rent means that this property is smaller on average than its comparables. And we can see that over here in that, for example, these properties are as high as 2,800 square feet or 1,700. So I might turn this comp off because it's much bigger and this comp off because it's much bigger. So I can see that overall, right, some of my rents per square foot are getting skewed because these properties are so much larger than my comp. So the average rent for properties like mine is about 4,200.
Mhm. Yeah.
Section 8 would pay up to 3,800.
Mhm.
So I would be comfortable saying I can probably lease this out to get started at about $4,200 a month, pretty easily. I wouldn't have any issues with that. Now, I also know the market in this area, home prices are up 7.5%, which is good for me, right? I know the days on market are properties are selling faster here than they were a year ago. Okay. Last year, was it August, properties were taking 51 days to sell. So I can see how things are moving and shaking. I know the income here is going up pretty quick. And I know that there have been fewer new listings than there were last year. There were 122 listings last July. This July, there was like closer to a lot less than that. I can see that information.
Mhm.
And so now we'll do a daily analyzer. So, Christine, if we were,
the income, can I just interrupt? The income to the value of the house. How are these people surviving?
Yeah, that's Hawaii for you. Sorry, Richard.
Yeah,
That's Hawaii for you. That's why it
that's
stays
difficult.
multi-generational,
yeah.
meaning that's why
Exactly.
it passes family to family and they just keep the house. So
Yeah.
in areas where it's not as transient, so that area is mostly people that have lived on island. We call them kamaaina. They've lived there forever and they just passed down from their kids to their kids to their kids and so on and so on. And that's why all the names are the same. That's why it's a
Yep.
non-arm's length transaction.
Yep.
So that's
So
why.
this is 28. This is
You native of Hawaii?
I'm a broker here. I have a small real estate company, and
Okay.
I came on to WNN is because I'd
yep.
like to learn how we want to do PML, private money lending. We can all do
Absolutely.
that sort of mindset was not for me because I always thought, okay, I got to finance it on my own and come up with ways to do it. And Hawaii's your entry level single family is about $1 million,
Mhm.
whereas Kansas City, Missouri is,
Yeah.
a
A lot
100,000.
cheaper.
You buy
Yeah,
a whole block.
yeah, you could buy multiple. You can buy multiple shopping centers. You can buy whatever else here, and then your cap is horrible. Your
Mm,
return is
yep.
Yeah.
less than 3%. So
Wow.
that's what made me say, okay, let's try something new. Because I've bought and flipped, but I never held. And so now as I'm entering my twilight years, I want to do more holding. I want to retire and not have to work as hard, right? I don't have to actually
Absolutely.
chase the sale, right? So that's what I'm here for. And so this
And
is
so
good. Mhm.
talking then on the deal analyzer from the long-term rental perspective, right?
Exactly.
This is
Here's
where
the
we
cap
come in
for you. Yeah.
and say, okay, right, if I were to buy this
Yeah.
at at the current value, I'd make a 3
Yeah.
cap. And
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
I come in and say,
Yeah.
right, I want to hire a property manager and I want to
You
hold some
have
money
to.
back for my
Yes.
repairs and vacancy.
Yes.
My
Uh-huh.
insurance maybe cost me a couple $1,000s a year. In order for me to make money on this place,
Yeah.
let's assume I put 20% down. I'd have to
Yeah.
buy this thing for, geez, oh, don't even know. $500,000? Half a million to
Yeah.
break even,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Exactly. There's
half
no
it's
break
worth.
even. Yeah. The,
Yeah.
can you go back to that little thing that said fix and flip? That's an
Yeah.
interesting thing. Can you show us how to use this thing? So,
Yeah. So let's say, for example, you got the property under contract for 750, for example.
okay. It ain't gonna happen,
And
but
so that'd be off market, right? That'd be direct to seller off market
yeah.
for some
No,
reason,
it never
distress.
happened. If even if off market, you'd get it maybe 100, 200 tops 100, maybe 150. And it's got
Okay,
to
well
be
let's
very recent. Yeah.
we'll do
Yeah.
900 grand.
Yes, that would be possibly foreseeable. Yeah.
So let's say we buy it for 900 grand and I'm going to put down 10% with the hard money lender. He's going to charge me
Uh-huh.
12% interest
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to renovate this property for 80,000, who knows, for some
Right.
reason.
Okay. I see.
And it's going to take me 6 months to do it.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to pay 6% commission on the back end. You're an agent, so maybe you won't. You'll do 3%
Hmm.
commission
Hmm.
and your exterior landscaping. Say you got some money for that, and your insurance over the course of the year is going to cost you some money. which means if you were to buy this for 900 and did this work, you would have grossed $200,000. And after your holding, repair, sale costs, you would have netted about 21,000
Wow.
on your
Oh,
flip.
that's not good. That is
So
not
in that case, you'd want to either A, get a lower price, B,
right.
see if you can increase the ARV at all,
Mhm.
C,
Mhm.
do a lower renovation, maybe only 60,000,
Mhm.
or see if you can get a cheaper interest rate, right? So 12%, maybe get 10% or something like that.
Mhm.
And now you're making $50,000.
Mhm. I
So
see.
that's,
That's how you do it. Okay,
yep.
great.
And
Can we
so
do
that's
that?
how we,
But your carrying costs are a killer, 115,000 over a 6-month period.
that plus repairs, yeah. So
Yeah.
60,000 in repair, because of the fact that you're spending so much in your taxes, insurance, and
That's
your
right,
10%
right.
interest. It's 10% now on
Yes,
almost $1 million,
right.
right? It's pretty
Yeah.
expensive.
Now,
Can you go to the wholesale one too?
I
Would
get
you-
a
Yep.
question for Christine.
Oh,
Christine,
sure.
you guys charge 6% commission?
Well, actually, it used to be about 6 or 5%, and it was split pretty much reasonably, systemically across the board, 2.5, 2.5. But
Right.
now with the new laws, every buyer's agent's commission is negotiable. It depends on
Right.
who pays it, whether it's the seller paid, and then that will affect your sales price, or if it's
Right.
the buyer paid, it will change. But typically on the listing side, I charge 2.5 unless they're very nice to me, and then maybe I'll give them a discount.
Yeah, we're put 4% basically here on Long Island.
Yeah, Long
Yeah,
Island.
2
Oh,
and
you Long
2.
Island, New York?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from Long Island, New York. Great
Where?
Neck, Roslyn.
Oh, I'm in East Meadow. We grew up in
Oh, yeah.
England. Yeah.
Oh, right around there. I'm originally New York. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
That's so funny, Richard. Okay. Are you an agent out there?
No.
Okay.
I
Yeah. Well,
I
actually,
flip
if
and
you're
buy
down
home.
to 4%, that means you guys are doing 2 and 2 on each
Yeah,
side.
typically, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed with that I see. Not with
Wow.
my agents that sell for me. Everybody gets 2
Wow.
and 2.
I see. It's 5% out here on
Oh,
average. Yeah, pretty
that's
So
a
like,
lot.
strong.
for example, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I put in 5% here because,
Yeah.
hey, if you're going
Yeah.
to pay for the buyer's agent, right, which
Right.
helps
Right.
get buyers. So
Yes,
there you
exactly.
go.
Yeah.
So wholesale
Okay.
is the same thing.
Okay.
So if
All
I'm going
right.
to wholesale a deal, I
Yes.
say, okay, I think the ARV is $1.11 million.
Uh-huh.
And I know that I need to take about 75% of that ARV in order to build some margin in for my end flipper. Maybe in Hawaii, they're willing to do less margin. So maybe they're willing to go
Mm-hmm.
to 80%, for example.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
know the property's going to take $75,000 in rehab. And I personally, as a wholesaler, want to make $20,000 in my assignment fee.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's going to cost my buyer, right, 12% interest on their fix and flip loan with a 2-year term and 2 points to borrow the money to go buy this wholesale from me. It's going to take them 6 months to do the deal. They're going to have 22,000 in closing costs when they close the deal from me, and they're going to have these costs for insurance. The reason we do this is so I can know, hey, if I put it under contract for 793,000 and I wholesale it for 813, at these numbers, my end buyer is going to lose 50 grand. So that's when you'd say, okay, so that's what this is. Whole calculator is designed to prevent people from saying, I have this deal locked up. Why is nobody buying it from me? Well,
Right.
because this right here, there's not enough margin. So
Mhm.
now maybe they're willing to do only a 10% margin on their deals. Oh, wait, hold on. Percentage of there.
Yeah.
So like this all was 80, oh, 85. Yeah.
Wholesale may have to take less fee.
Or sorry, yeah, you may have to do that. Or I'm looking at here. Look at that. Yeah,
Gotta
70%.
get rid of that 0.
Yeah, there you go. So like you may have to do different numbers here. Okay, awesome. If I can do this, but now I'm offering 682, and now they're making this. So this is how we can start to say, okay, great. How does this whole thing work from a wholesale perspective to make this thing functional? And we include things like the buyer side so you have a solid understanding of what's going to cost somebody to buy this from you and perform, because ultimately your end buyer will come back to you and buy from you if you're giving them a truly good deal. And we
Right.
want you to be able to know what they're stepping into, so you know whether or not it's even worth your time.
Yeah, but I personally would rather rehab this and make the 93 than have to wholesale 5 deals.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. And that's where you,
Yeah.
you come here and you say, okay, great, that makes sense. Or, right, and I know Christina will have an opinion on this, right? I can short-term rental it, but she very well knows that Airbnbs in Hawaii are very tightly regulated. At least now they are.
Yeah, they are
And
very, very now.
and so you might come in and say, let's say this is one of those rare properties that has an approval for short-term rental. Maybe it does.
Mhm.
And you say, okay, great, I can rent this property out for $500 a night.
Mhm.
And I can stay occupied. Let's say I'll be 40% vacant, so I'll be occupied 60%. With these numbers, right, I would still lose $2,600 a month renting for $500 a night, managing it myself
Mhm.
after hosting fees if I'm 60% occupied.
Mhm.
In order for this to work, let's assuming I hire a manager for 20%, which is
Mhm.
not unreasonable,
Mhm.
right? I would have to
Yeah.
be at the buy if I bought it for 1.1 million, put 20% down, rented it for $500 a night, was 90% occupied, right?
Okay.
Had a manager, had money for repairs, paid with utilities, all these other things. Then I'd make 5 cash on cash and be a 1 cap deal. And you'd be like,
Oh,
now for the people who own the building, let's flip the script here. The people who already own it with no debt,
Right.
they're making a killing. They're doing great. They're they're making $7,000 a month on this bad boy. Easy. On their long-term rental, if, they say it's worth $1.1 million, 100% down because they own the whole thing, right? They can manage it themselves because they're local. They're gonna make a stupid amount of money. They're gonna make like $3,000 a month as a long-term rental. They're
yeah,
fine,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
for them, if they were to move out, this is great. They've got themselves a solid little deal here.
Hmm.
What's the owner occupied button, Donato?
This
Explain
is
that.
for traditional, like for example, you're a broker. This is for traditional owners, so people who are going to buy a house to live in themselves. So it's
Okay, this,
basically a simple mortgage calculator, so they can say,
oh,
"Hey,
it's
here's what
just
this
a
is going to
mortgage.
cost you." Mhm.
Okay. How about the DSCR?
So this is for debt service coverage ratio
Yes.
loans. So
Oh,
this is for
sure.
people who are going to go get a DSCR loan and they want to
Yeah,
understand how
yeah.
what the property would qualify for
Mhm.
DSCR.
Mhm.
So this is where they can come in and say, hey, you know what? They have a lender they like, and the lender says, I'm willing to give you 75% loan to value on your DSCR loans. Like,
Mhm.
great.
Okay.
And they
Mhm.
tell you, look, we'll give you a 30-year loan term, no interest only,
Mhm.
and the rents are currently $4,200 a
Right.
month. Debt service coverage ratio, right? It has to be at least a 1 to be
Mhm.
to match. So I
Mhm.
can run the numbers here and say, hey, this property with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is going to be 58.34 a month in
Mhm.
association fees, and that
Mhm.
is a 0.72
Not
DSCR.
getting a loan.
And
So I
so
can say, yep,
they will not lend to
exactly,
you. They will not lend that to
yep,
you. Okay.
exactly.
So
So
I have
this
a
is
question for you. Uh,
yeah,
Sorry. Could you punch in a number for me? It was
sure,
285 for the value and actually it's going to be, this is the as is value. Okay. And so for a DSCR loan, I think the rent would be about 3,000. All right.
okay,
3,000 is the rent. Um, and down payment 20%. Okay. And self-managed. Interest
okay.
rate, I don't know what the going would be, would say 10% maybe on a DSCR. What is the DSCR right these days?
DSCR right now is, I mean, I got a DSCR loan the
Nine
other
or
day for like
10?
no, like 7.5.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Oh,
The long-term hold.
oh,
Yeah. 30 year.
okay,
Yeah, for a long-term property. So like, for
okay.
example, a 30-year loan, right,
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
DSCR, 20% down, $3,000 a month rents.
Hmm.
Your interest only period would be at a 7.62. That's because you're not paying your principal. When you're paying your
Okay.
principal, you are at a 1.6 DSCR. They would love to do that loan.
Okay, wait, HOA is 900.
A
Wow.
month?
Yeah,
On a $285,000 piece
Yes.
of property, what's it, a
Yeah.
condo or something?
yes, it's a condo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will-
And how
will it
about monthly
still work?
insurance?
Probably a $50 or something like that. It won't be that much.
Go with
Yep.
100.
Yeah,
Yep.
taxes
One point. It's a
also. It's still
1.06.
doable, right? Still
You're good to
doable.
go. You're good to
Huh.
go.
Where can you get
Yep.
7.5%?
For a third. So to be clear, you're talking about a 30-year
Uh-huh.
long-term hold DSCR loan product
Yeah, yes,
as a rental.
yes, as a rental.
That's very standard. I've got a lender in St. Louis who'll do that. And they'll
Now, is that
Really?
interest only?
Yeah. Is
So
it
no, so this
interest
is
only? Well,
nope,
what is?
nope. So this is if you have an interest only period. This
Okay.
is when you're paying the full
Uh-huh.
PITIA, principal,
Yeah,
interest, taxes,
yeah, sure.
insurance, association.
Okay.
So no, you are good to go. That's a 1.06. So it would pass.
Oh, it would pass. Well, can you send me your guy? Because my guy, I think, quoted me a couple of points and total payment was closer to about 3,000. So I don't know, something's up.
Yeah.
So,
Sure. Yeah. If you were to
or
shoot me an
maybe they were
email,
doing something else. Yeah.
yeah, if it was a 30-year loan, like a third,
Yeah.
if there was a fix and flip hard money loan, would be 10%
Uh-huh.
and a couple of points for sure.
Uh-huh.
But if this is
Yeah.
a true like 30-year loan, right, on
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
long-term hold, no, like
Right.
6.5 to maybe 7.5%. It shouldn't cost you
Oh,
10%.
really?
Mhm.
Okay. On a DSCR. I thought they
Yeah.
put a couple of points and that's what he was saying. That's minimum like 1 to 2 points.
Well,
They might charge a point or two. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the
Okay.
interest rate on the back end shouldn't be 10%. Not today's
Okay.
market. No.
yeah,
Okay,
but you,
so
you would
7.5.
only do this if you
Huh.
have a big down payment or you're maxed out and regular mortgage broker won't give you a loan.
Usually, so the main value of a DSCR loan is that they don't qualify you based off your personal income. They qualify you off the property's rental, which means that it doesn't count against your personal debt to income ratio for getting additional loans. The
Mhm.
caveat is that they're going to require a higher down payment, normally 20 to 25%, and they're going to require you to they're going to charge you a little bit higher on the interest rate. But you can have as many DSCR loans as you want.
I thought you can only have 10.
10 conventional loans. You can
Oh.
have 10 conventional loans in your name.
Okay.
After that, you can have as many DSCR as you want.
All right. And you'll be paying interest and principal on this.
Yes. So it depends on your lender, what kind of loan product you need. You can negotiate with them, or do you want an interest only period? So for example, I might say, I'm gonna get a 10-year loan, and
Mhm.
I want the first, I don't know, 3 years to be interest only. Okay, great. So that's going to change what your term is, what your monthly payment's going to be, right, in terms of your amortization. So if I have a 30-year loan, right, which is what we're all ideally shooting for, and I say, hey, I get 3 years of interest only, then the value here is it tells me, great, for those first 3 years, I'm going to get
Yeah.
my monthly payment's going to be this. And then
And
after
what do you-
that, it's going to be this.
Oh,
Give
okay.
me, I don't know how much longer. It's 3 o'clock. Hold on 1 second.
I-
Where are you?
I got a question on this. So if you're just paying
Yeah.
interest only at 14.25, what are you putting in your pocket each month?
So that's where we'd come over here. So we'd come over here and we'd model that in the long-term rental calculator. So we would say, okay, my market rent's 3,000, my interest only period is 14.25.
Make it
Okay, so now I come back to
$1,600.
my long-term rental and I would put those numbers in. Now, quickly, I could do quick math for you and say that on my rentals, I calculate approximately 20% is going to go to CapEx, vacancy repairs, and other costs. So take my $3,000 times 20%, which is $600. $600 plus my 1425 would be about $2,000 a month in total payments. So I'm going to net about $1,000 a month.
Okay. And then once you go to your non-interest only,
Principal.
you make
Now
$100 a
you're
month?
basically you'd be cash flow negative,
Yeah.
probably. After putting away money for repairs and CapEx and vacancy.
Right. But if you repaired it up front, you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly. So, and that's what the DSCR calculator is designed to do. So that's why we have the, the multiple quote functionality where you can run different scenarios and say, well, what about this scenario? What about this scenario? What about this scenario? And you can check out different things. So when you go to a lender, right? Like let's say I do this loan, right? And Christine's going to a lender, she'll make the Bright report and she'll click it and she'll save that and say, okay, awesome, I'm interested in this.
Good.
She's going to open up her
report
Bright.
that.
Yeah, so she's going to open up her Bright report and she's going to come down here and she's going to look at all of her details that she saved. And, maybe she took some notes for her lender and maybe she pulled the value. She's going to take all of this and she's going to send this over and she's going to say, okay, my assets value is 116,000. And this should work, but she'll go down here and she'll have all of her math in place for what she wants to do. Say, okay, 3,000, 3,000. I'm going to do 360 here. And I'm going to do 100%, and I'm going to do, what have you, and call it multi taxes of, what was it? I think she was $270. Insurance $50. That's for 900. She can come through and do all of her different analysis here. So she might send this over to a partner to take a look at it, and then she'd use this for her loan. And then she'd like, well, the reason you should lend to me is because the income's going up right now, and the I don't know, the home prices are going up right now, and that's really great. And now's a pretty good time to buy because days on market are low, and the new listings are down right now. And I have all these comps and say it's worth about $1 million, 1.1 million, and they've owned it for a long time, and there you go.
I like what we did tonight. This is good.
I agree.
It was good.
Absolutely.
We should be
Absolutely. We could do more case studies. I got plenty of case studies I can do. With some deals like this. Take a look at how the numbers work, especially if you guys want to be buying in the Midwest, which I know a lot of you do. Because I tell you should. I think you should. I'm happy to do a lot of case studies here in the Midwest and focus on some deals and some different things here. Because there's a lot of good opportunities. And the reason that we built the calculators in the way that we have is so that you can vet which opportunities make the most sense for you, right? Do you know, will I be able to refinance into a DSCR loan? Yes or no?
So if you already have a loan on a property, right?
Yep.
Does it really matter what the value of that property is if you're doing something like this?
So it matters if you're going to refinance,
Right.
but besides that, and the value of a property doesn't matter unless you're getting debt or you're selling it.
Right.
That's pretty much it. If you don't have those, if you're not doing those two things, doesn't matter.
Then it's a simple back on the napkin, back in the envelope, figuring it out, Your rent is this, your expenses are that. That's your monthly income.
Yeah. Christine's gonna, yes, I will go ahead and I'll shoot her a text here. Okay, I'm gonna save that. One second, guys. Gonna shoot her a text, make sure we fix that for her. Okay. Arvin, did you playing the case studies would be nice? Absolutely. I can do some more case studies on some of these on office hours. I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Arvin, did you mention the rent estimate widget? I didn't mention it tonight, but I can here. So with the widget, as it's live currently, inside any of you guys who have it in your accounts, you have the rent widget button in your profiles. And oh, hey Arvin, how you doing? So
what does that mean, a rent widget?
The rent widget is one of our latest new products with BrightInvestor, where you can now put a little button that says "Get Rent Estimate" on your website or any website you want, so that people can pull rent reports from you as a lead generation source. So, for example, I'll show you the BrightInvestor example page. So this is the example page that we have for it. So it looks like this, and we can make it whatever color you want. We can make it say whatever you want. But when people click on this on your website, they'll be able to type in, their address or what have you. And after they put in their contact information, that person will be able to pull a rent report with your branding on it for free. Now, in your widget settings, whenever that happens, this will keep track of every person that's ever pulled a report from you. And you can go back and find them. You can download them into a spreadsheet, or you can also choose to connect them to your CRM using our new Zapier integration, or you can just send them directly to your system as a lead.
So are these people that are looking to rent from you or something we're looking to rent?
Yeah, so people, for example, property managers, right? We have property managers in the room today who are
Okay.
using this for potential people for leads.
Okay. All right. So it's not really for me.
For what you're doing, no, you could have put it on your home investor's website if you wanted to, as a potential lead source, or people who are saying, "Hey, you're interested in selling your property? Why not see what it might rent for?" If you wanted to, as an example.
Hmm.
So on this, when you're in the widget settings button is designed to allow you to change the color, the text, the look, and everything for the actual site, for the buttons. You can make it customized however you want. The edit report email button will actually allow you to change the text of the email you're sending to people when they pull a report from you. So if you wanted to say, "Hey guys, it's Arvin, super happy to see you on the website. Here's my name, here's my phone number, here's my social security number," whatever you want to do, right? You can customize your email to say whatever you want. And same thing for Andy, right? Andy can say, "Hey guys, so happy to have you with our property management. This is what we're doing." So you can
I'm
custom.
already using it.
So Andy's already set up and live, but it allows you to customize the email that you have to send a different message.
Oh, so
But that's
Andy and Auburn is property managers.
they are both property managers. Yep.
Where are they
In the
located?
same city,
Oh, yeah?
on different sides.
What city?
Atlanta.
Oh,
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
we built the widget specifically for our property manager folks on BrightInvestor to be able to have a way to be successful, to have it run in the background and add value and collect leads when they weren't without having to hire someone to do that kind of work or spend time doing it. So the widget was something we built for that.
Hey, I had a quick question on that. I was trying to get PPC to use it the other day, and they had some questions for you guys. They wanted
Okay.
UTM tracking, a separate widget for Google Ad View website. I don't know what any of this means. Per URL. They just had a bunch of questions. I didn't know if I should put you guys with them.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to do an email intro, we'll sit down with them. We'll hear all their questions. Happy to.
Okay. Yeah, I was wanting them to, because we've worked so hard to get good rents out of this. I'd rather them use this than use something I don't know what they're using.
Yeah. We absolutely would like to. We are looking to partner with more and more large, website providers and things of that nature. Just make it like the default. To say just use us. So that's definitely where our intent is.
Okay, so just a three-way email introduction.
Donato@brightinvestor.com is fine.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. But what I will do, guys, I'll prep some case studies for next week as well, for our next office hours, for some things I think might be valuable to go over for this deal analysis. And thank you guys all for flexing today when we did as we moved 1 hour earlier in the evenings than usual. So moving forward, right, the plan is for us to be meeting at 7 o'clock Central on Wednesdays, as opposed to 8 o'clock Central, which is what we have been doing for the past year and a half or so. So you guys can plan on 7 Central, which should be 5 Pacific or 8 Eastern.
8 Eastern, yeah.
Moving forward on Wednesdays. So it's a little bit earlier in the day. Should be a little bit easier to accommodate. And I will plan to see you guys next week. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to shoot me an email. Happy to answer them. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you, Donato. Great class.
Well,
You got
thanks,
it.
Donato.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely.